All right. I do start every video with all right. This question comes from YouTube follower James W. And I guess he's been watching the videos, catching up. Appreciate it. Thank you for the subscription. Everybody watching this should subscribe. He wants to know about my real thoughts about conferences and conventions for the rest of 2025 and what my plans are for 2026. Because he says, rightly, he says that I go back and forth. And I do. I'm not a big fan of people. Not a big fan of crowds. Not a big fan of travel. I'm a fan of being places. I'm just not a fan of getting there sometimes. And so I've been to a couple things recently as I'm recording this. Went to BoucherCon in New Orleans. Phenomenal. Then I went 10 days later to the NINC conference in St. Petersburg, Tampa area. Also good. But a couple things. First off, there's obviously, I'm a writer. There's something wrong with me in my head. Again, crowds, people, having to be on, having to talk and communicate and blah, blah, blah. It's just mind-numbing. But I'm not going to BoucherCon in 2026. And really the only reason is because it's in Calgary, which, for those of you who don't know, is in Canada. And it's also across the country. I looked it up just for fun. Said to my wife, we could do this. It's only a 40-hour drive. To which she said, absolutely not. Plus, you got to renew passports. It's just so much work for what, So I will be skipping BoucherCon. However, the 3 years after that are Washington, D.C., Indianapolis, and then Miami. So more than likely, I will be going to those. And that basically gives me 2 years to get my branding better, to get more crime thriller books out there, to establish myself more with a ton of short stories. And, maybe I'll be up for an award. Who can say? But, so that's that one. I used to go to AuthorCon, Scares That Care, AuthorCon. While I love some of the people there, it's also, the reality is it's no longer my crowd. There are more younger horror authors coming in, doing splatterpunk, extreme horror. And that's just not my thing. Just not really, I do them every now and then. Check out the Zombie Flesh Cult book that I'm a part of. That's pretty extreme. But overall, I'm getting away from the horror community for various personal reasons. And I just don't think that driving to Virginia and spending all that money on hotels and gas and everything else is anything other than a tax write-off at this point. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be away for 4 days and not get work in and not being able to sleep in my own bed. So that one's out. Many good years on that one, though. So NINC, I go back and forth. While I love the networking, I love meeting. I had a great meeting with ACX. I did a whole video. You can watch the video about NINC. I liked it. I learned a lot. I realized where my where the holes are in my career, where my weaknesses are. And so I'm looking to shore those up. But probably said it back and forth a dozen times already. And I've been back less than a week of, I'm going back. Next year I'm going back. No, I'm not going back next year. Yeah, I'm going back next year. Yeah, I'm not going back next year. So I just keep kind of waffling back and forth. I know my wife likes it because she gets to lie on the beach and she gets to go to the pool and she gets to relax for 4 days, which is nice. One of the things I said, I don't know if I said it in a video, but one of the things I said was, I don't think I'm going to go back unless I lose 50 pounds in the next 50-something weeks. So there. Hopefully that's motivating enough, because I was winded, I was dehydrated, huffing and puffing, even worse than I am right now. So at this plan, I have no plans for going anywhere next year. 50-50 shot to go to NINC. I'm not looking for any new conventions to go to. And again, that might change depending on where the career is going. But otherwise, it might be definitely a quiet rest of 2025 for me. It might be a quiet 2026. So I'm going to be building up this YouTube. I'm going to be building up my Patreon. So subscribe. They're both free. You can hit the follow button on Patreon and see all of my free stuff. So people, let's do this. Thank you.